Tools to speed up your success. In this lesson, you're going to discover the tools you're going to use to speed up your success when it comes to product selection. Product selection is a time-consuming and sometimes frustrating process. To speed up the process, we use several tools. These are tools we use for finding products and are the only ones we recommend. Trying to find products without these tools becomes very difficult and much more time-consuming. The Chrome browser. Two of the tools require the Chrome browser to function. If you do not have the Chrome browser, you will need to install it. It is free and you do not need to use it for everything you do online. You can simply use it just for your Amazon business if you prefer. Personally, when I started using the Chrome browser for product selection, I have never looked back, and it is the only browser I now use. If you haven't got it installed, all you need to do is go to google.com/chrome/index.html, and we will go and take a look before the end of this lesson. The search string. Now, this is not actually a physical tool. We use this search to enable us to see all products without using a keyword. It is the minus symbol followed by 8 or more random letters that do not make up a word. And again, we're going to take a closer look before the end of this lesson. And the random letters must not make a word or result in a suggested keyword. And don't worry, we're going to take a closer look before the end of this lesson. But it would look something like this. And we put this search string into the Amazon search box. Google Sheets. We use a spreadsheet to keep track of nearly everything in our physical products business. And we will be sharing this with you in Google Sheets. Google Sheets is free and all you need is a free Google account. Now this sheet will grow as you move through the course and we use it for virtually everything we do in the course. So let's go take a look at the sheet you will use, and it is called the ASM Workbook. But first let's take a look at the Chrome browser. As you can see, we've gone to google.com/chrome/index.html. And once you come to this page, all you need to do is click on the download Chrome and follow the instructions. It takes about 10 to 15 seconds. So let's take a quick look at the search string. So I'm going to type in the minus symbol. So I've just typed in some random letters. Once we've done that, we're going to click on the all button and select a category that's one of our recommended categories. I'm just going to select home and kitchen and then click on the search button. And there you can see it's showing 90,000 results. There actually are a lot more than 90,000 results. And Amazon are constantly tweaking this. So by the time you actually do the search, you might see millions of results. It just depends what they're showing you. But that's how the search string works. And don't worry, you're going to see a lot more examples of this later. And then this is the ASM Workbook. All you need to do is create a Google account if you haven't already got one. If you've got a Gmail account, then you've got a Google account. And the link that takes you to this workbook is AmazingSellingMachine.com/ASM Workbook. And you can see it on the screen right now. Now I've just put a random example in here. When you get to this page, it will be blank because we're not actually going to work with this sheet, and you shouldn't either. Bear in mind, everyone's going to have access to this sheet. So all you need to do then is click on File, make a copy, choose a name, and you won't be seeing a folder here. You'll probably just see Drive, and you just save it on your drive. But once you've done that, you just click on OK, and it creates a copy. And then all you need to do is go to the top, copy the URL, and put it in a text document so you don't forget it. You can also save it as a favorite in your Google browser. Then whenever you need to use it or access it, you just come back and hit that link. And because you've made this your own copy, no one else is going to see this, and you can quite freely put in all your details. Now there's a bunch of tabs we're going to be looking at below, product example, all these other tabs. We'll be using those in later modules. For now, all we're interested in is this page, all the way up to estimated profit margin. Now all of these boxes will become a lot clearer once we start moving through the actual product selection process. And finally, Jungle Scout. The Jungle Scout Chrome extension is the best product selection tool on the market, no question. Nothing else compares to this. It pulls all the information we need for every product on a search page as it happens. So all the information is completely up to date. It's not using some database that isn't updated. Now this dramatically speeds up the process, and we have negotiated a 45-day free trial for all our members. Now you don't need to start the trial until you are ready. However, the sooner you do, the sooner you can start finding your first profitable product. So let's go and see how we activate the trial and also how we set it up. So in the next lesson, we can just jump straight into finding our profitable products. Okay, to start your Jungle Scout 45-day free trial, all you need to do is on your journey map, you can click on sign up for Jungle Scout and click the link below, or you can scroll down, click on the Jungle Scout drop down and click on free trial. Now in this pop-up, all you need to do is click on sign up. Then all you need to do is check your email inbox for your login information for Jungle Scout. And once you've done that, you'll notice that the Jungle Scout box in the drop down goes green, and that you'll actually get this Jungle Scout badge very soon after. So once you've activated your 45-day free trial, you just need to come to Jungle Scout and log in. Now, you should have received an email with your password to log in to your Jungle Scout account. If you haven't, then make sure you contact Jungle Scout support, not our support. And you can do that at support@junglescout.com. Just send them a message, say you're an ASM member, you've activated your account, but you have not received your password, and they'll help sort you out. However, once you've got your password, you just come to junglescout.com. You'll probably get this message. You can actually don't allow. They do provide some kind of strategies and tactics, but you want to stick to the ASM strategies. They are newer and more effective. So for now, just click on don't allow, and then you want to click on login, and then type in your email and your password and click login to Jungle Scout. Now once you're here, up in the top here you'll see Chrome extension. You just want to click on that. Then scroll down until you get to the now you're ready to install the Jungle Scout Chrome extension. And you can see some instructions here to get you set up. It's very straightforward. You just want to click on install Chrome extension. Once you've done that, if you come to Amazon.com, you'll see up in the top right hand corner this JS logo. And you can see it's the Jungle Scout Pro version, and that's the trial you're getting. If I click on it, you can see it shows you, hold up, wait a minute, and that's because there's no results on this page because it's not a search page. However, it does allow us to set up Jungle Scout the way we recommend. So in the Jungle Scout box, you just want to click on these three lines in the top left-hand corner. It's going to open up this box, and at the top you're going to see your name and email. I blurred mine out, and API keys and columns. The API keys is something you can add if you wish. Personally, I don't bother. It can help speed things up a little bit, but I've not seen a significant difference, so I don't bother connecting to my Amazon account. But you can follow the instructions if you wish. As I said, I don't use it. But what you do want to click on is columns. Now your box is going to look very different to this because I've already optimized this one. And for the sake of the initial product selection, all you need to have enabled, in other words, have a checkbox in the box, is price, category, rank, estimated sales, estimated revenue, number of reviews, and product weight. Now there are a lot of other options, and in some cases they're not particularly accurate. These are the ones we know are accurate and give us the right results. Now because mine's already done, it wasn't showing me the save box, so all I did was uncheck and check product weight again, and it gave me the save box. If you come back at a later stage and want to change this, then to save, as long as you change something on the screen, it will give you the option to save. So I'm going to click on save. So we're all looking good. And the columns that I just explained will become clearer to you once we get into the product selection. Now you see these filter results, we're also going to be using these, and they actually relate to the columns we've selected. So as you will see in the next lesson, you will only be able to filter by the boxes you've selected. But, as I've said, the ones we've shown you to select are the only ones you need to do. You could ignore all the other ones, for instance size tier. You want to leave them all checked, because although it could be helpful to have oversize ruled out when we filter, what actually happens is that it's done basically on what the Amazon seller puts on their listing, and quite often they get it wrong. So when it comes to oversize, in other words, a package being big, so it's extra cost, and we have discussed this, you can actually tell just by looking. But that's how we set up Jungle Scout. So our Jungle Scout extension is set up, and I just want to show you how it works and show you something fairly important. So I'm going to use the search string again, so it's minus and then a bunch of random letters. I'm going to click on the drop down. I'll just select home and kitchen again, and I'll click on the search bar. So it's now showing us all these results. Now, when we use Jungle Scout, we're going to be pulling multiple pages inside the Jungle Scout extension, and I'll just show you what that means. So I'm going to click on the Jungle Scout extension box, and you can see it's pulling in all these results. Now in the next lesson there are going to be some other things we do before doing this search, but I just wanted to show you something that can help a lot. Now the first couple of examples I'll show you, I'll just do one page at a time, but then we'll be going on and clicking extract next page in the bottom left hand corner. So if I click on it, you can see that it's starting to pull in some more results. This just makes things quicker for us. So we would probably pull in 4 or 5 pages worth of results before filtering and checking out all the products. Now the problem with this is that if you did this for an hour or so and then all of a sudden you realized you needed a break, you were getting tired and you wanted to be able to shut your computer down, you would lose where you are. So for instance, I started on page 1 of this search I extracted another page, so in effect, I'm now on page 2. So if I was to click on extract next page again, I would be on page 3. So there is a really easy way of being able to record where you are, and that's what I want to show you briefly. So I'm going to shut Jungle Scout down because we don't need it for this. And I'm going to scroll down here till I get to the next page. I'm going to click on 3. So that's page 3. So that would have been the equivalent of where we were. Now if I go up here and show you the URL, you'll see this big long URL. Well, if you look right here, almost in the middle, you'll see page equals 3. That's telling you what page of the search you're on. So for instance, if you've been using Jungle Scout and you kept track of how many extra pages you extracted and you knew you were on page 11, then you would come here before you closed out and took a break, change it to page 11, hit the return button at the end, and you can see it's jumped us all the way to page 11. And then what we do is we copy that URL and we put that into a text document. So we could then shut down the computer, go away, and come back an hour later, a day later, whatever the length of time is. And then all we need to do is open our browser, copy the link from our text file, and then click on paste and go. And you can see it's brought us back where we were. And that's how you keep track of where you are. It will make things much easier for you moving forward. And don't worry, I will bring this up again when we actually start doing the searches, so you're aware of what's going on. Now the last tool is actually your mindset. Your mindset is probably the most important tool when it comes to selecting a profitable product. We will give you all the information you need to succeed. However, the selection process is time consuming and can be frustrating too. And we have mentioned this before, and you'll hear us mention it again, especially on our coaching calls. But as long as you remain patient and focused and are willing to follow all the steps, you will succeed in finding a profitable product to launch on Amazon. So we've covered the tools you will use to find your products. In the next lesson, you're going to start building your primary products list. Your action step, get all your tools set up and ready to use, and especially Jungle Scout. Go in and set up the columns exactly as I did. But that's it for this lesson. Take care.